Hey everyone, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm playing Metal Gear Solid, the board game. Very excited for this one. And a quick disclaimer that I got a review copy of the retail edition. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Metal Gear Solid board game, unsurprisingly, is trying to emulate the original Metal Gear Solid, which I played the heck out of. Actually, I've played most of the games in the series. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, Snake Eater, and I think 5. I somehow never played 4. But if you aren't familiar with the video game series, it follows Solid Snake and sometimes some other characters. And it's a mix of stealth action, which is what the two stages I'm going to show you in this video are, and also like combat and boss fights. We're going to try to do another video, me or Jason, of a boss fight later on. And I'll also review the game once I've played it through a bunch. But today I'm just going to show you the two kind of tutorial starting sneaking missions so you can see how the stealth in the game works. I think it's a really cool system. And yeah, I've been excited for this one for years. Actually, when Steve was on the podcast with us, Steve from the Co-op Guild, he and I did an interview with Emerson, the designer of the game. This is like 5 or 6 years ago. So it's very weird to go back and listen to that now that the game is finally, first of all, I got rescued by CMON because it was with, I forget even who the other publisher originally was. But yeah, so let's just jump in with stage 1. It's pretty quick, and then I'll show you stage 2 as well. So they have a book of Shadow Moses campaign missions. This is, again, in the retail edition. They also have VR missions that are just like fun little challenges. Those were in the video game too. And the theme here is great if you know the video game. Like they've got, these were codec conversations like on the radio. See if I can do my little impressions here. This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me? Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake? Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up. Just as I expected. You have to take the that's a terrible Colonel voice. Anyway, so they kind of like walk you through things. It is actually a little tutorial, so they actually have like little codec conversations going on between the characters. So it tells you set everything up, but I'm just going to skip all past that and kind of walk you through things. So the basic idea is you take player turns and then you have enemy turns. For the player turns, you are using action tokens. Each character has 4. These two tutorial missions, you are only controlling Snake, but you can add in Meryl and some other characters later. And these are the action options available to you. The number next to them is how many of your 4 actions it takes. So for pretty much everything besides combo attack, focus, which does not get used at all in this mission because I don't have my focus tokens yet. You'll see them in a second. And silent takedown, that's a Snake special action. All the rest of these only take 1 of your 4 actions. Also, some actions have a little blue symbol here, drag, body, dash. Looks like those are the only ones. And for every action token you have on those at the end of your turn, you're going to roll 1 of these white dice, looking to see if, there you go, you roll an exclamation point, which will move this little awareness token. There's a little bit like a burn cycle stealth system, if you've seen my videos on that, but we'll let this one stand on its own. So you'll be moving this token around as people like hear you. If they see you, you get the red version, and then they like really come hunting after you. It's like you've triggered the alarm. The blue version, just one of them will try to investigate what's going on. Again, cool system. But yeah, so you do up to 4 actions. You roll your noise after you've resolved all of your actions. If as you move, any enemies see you, then you just immediately go to this. So you have to be stealthy. And then on the enemy turn, you draw a guard order card. And there are 20 blue ones, but you only use a random assortment of 10 each game. And then there are 7 red ones, and you always shuffle the reds underneath the blue. And one of the 7 reds is an automatic game over. So that is a hard timer in the game because you'll always flip 1 guard order card per turn. And there are some effects that can move cards from the top to the bottom of the deck, accelerating the chance of drawing game over faster. And when you flip these cards, first you'll have a special effect here that can do different things, like calling in reinforcements. If you have cameras on the board, which the first mission does not, then you might or might not rotate which direction the cameras are looking. And then the most important thing is how the enemies move. These are movement values, both if the enemies know you're there and the alarm is triggered, or if they don't. You'll see the red values tend to be like in the 4 to 6 range, while the blue values tend to be in the 2 to 5 range, kind of more weighted towards the middle, 3 and 4. And you activate each enemy unit following this priority order. So going row to row, from left to right. So it would be this guy, then this guy, then this guy in each case. And there's a guy in the elevator that's not there yet. So yeah, what I have to do in this mission is I have to get to the A. That's going to make the elevator show up with this guy. And then I need to go into the elevator and do an interaction to go down while my exclamation point is not on the board. So I can't do it while the alarm is triggered. I guess they shut the elevators down. I think that's how it was in the actual first infiltration in the game. So yeah, that's about it. So let's get into it. There are a lot of like kind of nuanced rules and how the guards actually prefer to move and what these little like arrows on the board mean and all that stuff. But I'll explain that as we go because it is the most complicated part of the game. Okay, so I could move if I dashed. So for one action point, I can move 2 with a dash, or I can sneak. The dash is going to force me to roll those white dice and potentially put my awareness token down. So what I did the last time I played this mission is I ran to right here or here, and this guy got a move of 4 or 5 and immediately turned around and shot me. So if I draw a high card, he's going to get me. Because generally speaking, when the guards patrolling, they're just going to go in their regular direction. And whenever they hit a wall, if there is a spot they can turn to with a single turn, they're going to go that way. So like there's pretty much 100% certainty that this guard's going to move that way and potentially go up there. If he moves far enough, this guy's going to go down there. And this guy's going to turn around and go there. So if I want to be a little bit more circumspect and careful this time, I could try going here, just sneaking, and there should be 0 chance that anybody sees me. Now, there also might be 0 chance that I can go anywhere if this guy moves far enough, but if he ends up moving a little bit less, I can try to maybe like run into this middle area. And here, just to briefly show the detailed actions. So you can sneak for 1 space or dash for 2 spaces. Again, that's going to force a noise roll at the end of your turn. You can do a hand-to-hand attack or a combo attack. These are the number of dice you roll. You're rolling against the guard's defense, which is 3. And in the course of a single turn, because the knockout damage doesn't stick around, you have to get at least 2 damage on a guard, and that's going to knock him out. Or once I get real weapons, I could kill them. Again, focusing doesn't come into play. I can drag a body, which is a noisy thing to do once they're on the board, so that it's harder for the enemies to come and like wake them up and find them. I can interact, and that has dice because unlocking things, for example, will have a difficulty, and you have to roll against the difficulty. Operating an elevator, I think Snake can figure that out. Knocking, you can move your attention token, either putting it to where you are if it's not on the board yet, or on either side, moving it to your space if you want to kind of send the guards in the wrong direction. And Snake's got a few abilities here. He can do extra damage when he's behind someone with a sneak attack if he doesn't want to spend 2 to do silent takedown, which just straight up kills them, by the way, instead of knocking them out. And once he gets some weapons, he can modify them once per round with I work alone. If that's not going to matter here, because he doesn't have any weapons yet. Yeah, so we don't have to use all our actions. Let's do what I planned and sneak twice. 2 right here, and we'll just kind of see how the guard card leads us. So let's draw our first one. And this one would mean that if there were 3 dead guards on the board, like just murdered a lot of people, we would move 1 card of the guard order deck from the top to the bottom, checking to make sure it's not the game over card. There are no cameras, but if there were, they would not have changed. And, they only have 3 movement. Okay, that is perfect. So what we do, let's just kind of walk through it because this is, again, the most complicated part of the game. We are activating guards in this order, so this guy goes first. And first we check, is my red awareness token on the board? Do they know I'm there? Is the alarm active? No. So this guy is not going to be in red mode, and he won't move 5. He's going to be in these modes, and he'll move 3. The next thing he checks is my blue awareness token on the board, and he's currently the closest person to it, which is not the case. But if he was, he would move towards it with 3 movement points. Next, if he's not the closest to that, and I don't know why they have them, and these should kind of be reversed. It should be question mark, then skull star, because this one takes precedence. But if they have line of sight, pretty much a direct line. I can go into line of sight later. It's a pretty straightforward system. If they have line of sight to a dead or knocked out guard, they will move towards that. When they reach it, they'll resolve a guard reaction, like waking up the knockdown guard or reporting the dead guard. And only if none of those apply do they just do a regular patrol, which is what's going to be the case for, I think, all these guys this turn. So they're moving 3, and they just go 1 at a time. And whenever they can't progress in the direction they're facing, then they will turn. And this is a tiebreaker if they have an option to turn in either direction. But when they can only turn 1 to go down a hallway, they will never prefer to turn twice when they're just patrolling. So this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3. And if he had landed on these little arrows here, these are only checked at the end of their move when they're patrolling, and that will make them then again turn, following the priority or trying to get to the closest turn they can. But this guy just went right there. Next, this guy goes 1, 2, 3, doesn't have to turn at all. Sorry, I zoomed in a bit too much there. And this guy goes 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was kind of the perfect card for me to try to sneak by right now. Now let me do a line of sight briefly. So how it works is, you see how the guards have a facing. You see if your current location, your row or column, is within basically like in the front of them, any like area in here. So like that would still apply because the row right in front of them, I am still in it. But here they wouldn't be able to see me. And also they can't see from the side. So like they would not have line of sight to me there. And then after you do that, you draw a box around both figures. And if there is any obstacle in that box, so like these red things, the walls, then there's no line of sight. So here, just to like kind of give a better example. So right here, yes, in many games, this would have line of sight, right? Like if I went center to center, absolutely there's line of sight here. But when I draw a box, this obstacle is here, this wall is here, this wall is here, so there is no line of sight. In fact, even here or here, there's no line of sight because the box exists. They're kind of giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're like, pressing your body against things. Gives a lot of leeway to the player for line of sight to work. All right, but that was a fantastic turn. Now I really want to vamoose. So this guard is going to go down here, and I'm not sure which way he's going to turn. It's going to depend on the card. This guy's going to go here and probably head up that way, so I need to kind of get through there. And this guy's going to go here. So yeah, now, if this guy moves 4, then he'll probably just turn and look right down the hall. That's just a chance I want to take, and I don't want to run yet. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just hope that they don't draw an exactly 4 movement card, although there are a lot of those, so there's a decent chance they will. And that was all 4 of my actions on sneaking. I didn't dash at all, so I don't need to roll any white dice to see if they were aware of me. Okay, and great. So radio. We'll get to the 4 movement in a second. This is going to be awesome. The radio. Whenever there is a radio, basically reinforcements could come. You check the zone you're in and the guard count room. So here it says radio, guard count 3. So if there are 3 standing guards on the board, nothing happens because they already have as many as they want. If there were more than 3, nothing would happen. But if there were fewer, like let's say I knocked a guy out or I had killed somebody, then they would make up the difference starting on the radio space, and they always face on these arrow directions whenever they move onto those or spawn onto them. So more guards would come out to replace the ones I'd gotten. Here, cameras would change which direction they were looking. It doesn't apply. And now we're patrolling again. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. They're each moving 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So whenever somebody ends their move on this, they're going to search for a new path. And here he could turn there or there with a single turn. So they're going to prefer to go there. Okay, this guy goes 1. And once again, he prefers 2, 3, 4. And whenever they end facing a wall, they automatically will turn again. They always take the cheapest turn, like the one that will get them facing somewhere for a single turn. And they only check their preferences for when there's more than one. And then here's the terrible part. 1. To cheapest turn, 2, 3, 4, cheapest turn. So the second they see me, all heck breaks loose. Let's see what happens. So I immediately put my red one here because I've actually been seen, which means everyone's going to move. Now, the nice thing is it was the last guard to activate because if the first guard had seen me, all the rest of them would have used the red movement value and have gone straight towards me to kill me. So it did kind of work out. How about this guard has a 2 attack value, so he's going to roll 2 black dice. And he's looking for my defense value or higher. And I don't have anything to mitigate this yet. He gets that later. I was actually pretty lucky. So he only did 1 damage. If I take 4, then I'm dead and the mission has failed. And that's the end of his activation, but I'm in a bad way right now. So what do I do? I could smack the heck out of him and then try to run away. Yeah, it's probably my best chance. Okay. So I'm going to spend 2 for a combo attack. I roll 2 white and a black. Their defense is 3, and I got to get a total of 2 knockouts. So 2, 3 pluses. Oh, that was a great roll. So he's immediately knocked out. But I didn't choke him out. I didn't shoot him with a gun. So he just gets one of these little knocked out things. And that goes right there. Okay, and then I'm going to make some noise by dashing twice. So I go 2 and then 2. I think this is the safest place for me to maybe not be seen by them. Now, how your awareness token works, let's say that this guy was still alive when I ran. As long as they can see you, your token will keep on going underneath you until you finish an action out of line of sight, and then it'll be placed where you finish the action. So let's say I hadn't punched him and I dashed to here and then dashed to here. It would be put here, but any more movement I'm doing out of line of sight would not be seen. So basically, like they kind of see you go around the corner, but then they don't follow you. But because I punched him out, they don't know that I went there. They only know that I was there last. But I did do 2 noisy actions, so all right, well, hey, guess what? They know I'm there. Awesome. Yeah, I might just die here. Sometimes the missions go in a really bad way. I'll still show you mission 2 if I get murdered, but let's see what happens. Okay, so we're going to draw a card, and so, great. So first of all, they immediately call in another warrior, another guard, because that guy doesn't count. Even though he's only knocked out, they only count like standing active guards. So now there are 4 guards in the room. And then they're each moving 6 to get to me. And they want to take the shortest path possible, which means you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When it's equal, you count which one will take fewer turns. So let's see. Here we'd have to go 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. And here you go 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. So when it's equal like that, I get to choose. And this is so bad. In this case, if they land on this guy, they'll immediately stop moving and wake him up. So I'd rather him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually go this way. And by the way, they do not pay attention to these like little rotation arrows when they're actually on a mission to get somewhere. That's only when they're like generally patrolling. Okay, but then this new guy, this is great. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4. People move and leapfrog over each other when they're moving, so you don't even count the movement in between. You can also leapfrog over enemies, but they immediately become aware of you and they get to shoot you for free. And then he turns and shoots me. Everything's going great. Snake is dead. Well, I only took 1 damage again, so I got 2 left. And I've trapped myself in a room. This was a tactical error, everybody. Didn't say I was good at the game. All right, this last guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's just going to hang out there because he can't go anywhere else yet. So I'm pretty much just dead at this point. I don't think there's much I can do. Because I could knock out this guy, but the second they moved on to him, they would just respawn him. Well, whatever. We'll try it out. So I'll do a combo attack on this guy. It's got my best chance to actually hurt him. I did knock him out. The exclamation point doesn't matter because the thing's already on my space. Oh, but yeah, then it won't even matter because this guy's going to move on here. And whenever they move on to a token, unless they're like already shooting, or actually in addition to shooting, they'll resolve a guard reaction. And based on what they've landed on, they'll do some different stuff. But with with the knocked out stuff, they just always wake up the guard. And I think that guard immediately activates in the same phase. But yeah, if they like land on your blue or your red, different things happen. There's some variety. But yes, I think I've just boxed myself in. I'm going to get killed. That sucked. Let's run it back. It's pretty quick to reset everything and try again. What was the music when you died? Dun, 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 snake, something like that. All right. So that guy was there. This guy was there. And the last guy was here. I switched out the guard order cards, and all right, here we go again. So I think my original plan to just like sneak to here was fine. I'm going to do that again for my first turn. Okay, and they're going to move 3 again. This is all very deja vu-ish, isn't it? Oh, and that would, for somebody who was knocked out, the first time it was drawn, they would flip to their other side. This is assuming no guard came over to wake them up, and the second time they would respawn a guard on their space. All right, so now what do I want to do differently? Maybe I dash a little bit. Like if I go 2, 4, 5, 6. Maybe just maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'll have to roll a single die. 1/6 chance that my thing pops up. Nope. All right, let's see what we get this time. A 3. That seems better. Nobody to knock out, so that guy just goes there. This guy prefers to turn left. 2, 3. And this guy goes 1, 2, 3. All right, that was a billion times better, regardless of what I did. So I need to get to the A, but he's going to curl around that way. So let's slide over here. Should I do 1, 2, 3? Yeah, I guess let's keep it nice and quiet. I don't want to mess up and have people charging to me yet. Okay, no dead people to alert. 4 movement. So this guy's going 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he prefers to face that way. This guy's going 1, 2, 3, 4. And he prefers to face that way. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is great. I mean, they seem to like really be out of my way for the second. Although when I go on to A, there's going to be a guard in the elevator I'll have to worry about as well. So let's do 4 sneaks to here. Although actually, I forgot about this. Let's actually sneak to there because one of the cards I could draw for the guard order thing means that if I'm within 2 of a guard without obstacles in the way, that they would just automatically kind of like hear me sneaking nearby. Don't want to invite that to happen. Nope. Here, there are no more reinforcements to bring in. They have 3. So they're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Facing that way. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, what was the turning to the right? All right, I'm going to sneak twice to here. That makes this guy pop up there. And he's not within 2 of me, so even if I draw that card I talked about, I'll be okay. And yeah, I mean, he should, as long as he moves at least 3, he should get out of my way and I can run in the elevator and win next turn. Let's see if he does. Oh, there we go. That's the one I was talking about. But again, nobody's within 2 of me. And they're moving 3. Seems like it should work. So this guy goes 1, 2, leapfrog 3. And he'll turn to face the door. This guy goes 1. The preference was turning left. 2, 3. He's just kind of doing a little patrol over here now. I don't mind that at all. This guy 1, 2, 3 and turns left. And the really important one, 1, 2, 3. And like a ghost, 1, 2. So they said just interact with the elevator. They didn't say like where you got to be on it. But I guess thematically, like probably that's where the control pad would be. So I'll go 1, 2, 3 sneaks and interact. Boom! Perfection. I didn't have to try twice. That was the first time. Flawless run. Good job, Mike. All right, so let's set up mission 2 and kind of see what they add in there, mainly cameras and stuff. So here we go, stage 2. We're in a heliport. And yeah, if you thought that the maps were going to stay tiny, nope. This is 4 big tiles put together. What new things have we got? So now we've got cameras, and you'll see they have a blue and an orange, and that this big tile next to the board is on the blue side. So now on each guard turn, you'll see some cards will say no change and some will say switch, which means, boop, now the camera is looking in the other direction. And if a camera sees you, then it's just like a guard seeing you. Everyone's alerted. And if a camera sees one of your victims, then it's like the guards can see those victims too, and they will move towards them to try to wake them up and check out what's going on. But if a camera's facing the other way, like right now, I can freely be here, although I couldn't be here because by line of sight rules, they would be able to see me there. They also can't see on their own space. So like if you're just hanging out here, then you are safe. Now, by the way, in this mission, the A event token up there, I need to get to advance the mission, and then I'm going to go to one of the 2 exits. I'll show you that in a second. This B one is specifically an optional thing that will get me an extra equipment card. But if I'm understanding correctly, the camera will always have line of sight to me once I go to get that, right? Because it's not like they have a 45-degree angle like in the video game that is in the direction they're facing, even when it's blue and within a box with no obstacles. So I think that's how they intended it. And here's the A token inside this room that I have to reach, and then I can go to either one of these exits. Now, let's see. There are lots of options of where to go here. With these red like obstacle spaces, it's going to be very tough for the enemies to see me anytime soon. Which kind of makes me think that I should knock somewhere down here and then run the other direction, because knocking will put your token down. And the closest enemy, we didn't really ever see me have my blue token down in the last play, but the closest enemy will move towards your token to investigate and the rest won't. So it's kind of a way to get like one of the enemies in totally the wrong area. And I just counted, and this guy is the closest to my current position by a little bit. So if I want to try to get the optional thing, I think I might knock, head north, try to like end route around him and then go in. Sure, let's try it out. So I'm going to knock right here and then move 1, 2, 3, because if you make noise with like a noisy action, then you kind of waste your knock because your token is going to move to where it was anyway. All right, and the cameras are switching to look at their orange sides, and people are moving 4. So we still go in the same order of operations. This guy goes here and then prefers to turn to his right and goes there, and then he turns there again because of the thing. It's not really where I want him to be. This guy just goes straight down. And this guy is trying to get closer to my token, so he goes on the fastest route possible, doesn't care about any of these like turning things, faces towards the next space he wants to move toward. Although I'm realizing a problem with my plan immediately. This guy's going to very quickly be looking down this long way, and this camera is looking down the other long way, so And after getting this guy's attention, he's going to... Okay, so I've just like shut off my own route to go anywhere, haven't I? Well, with that, cool. I didn't talk about focus tokens. Hold on. I have focus tokens now in this mission, which you have for every mission. Each character has different ones. That we'll get to the X focus action in a second. So this one can be used during a die roll to add +2 to the die to like make your misses become successes. -2 to a die to make the enemy successes become failures. This one lets you re-roll 1 die. And this one lets you either, when you're rolling, subtract 1 die from the roll. This is also for enemies that are like targeting you with something, or move 1. Okay, I'm going to use this one in a second. And for all of them, you flip them over. The movement one, by the way, can only be used during your turn, whereas the dice modification ones can be used anytime a die is being rolled against you or by you. And then you'll have a number, and that is the number of actions you have to take with the focus action to flip him back over to be used again. So that's, and I think the reroll is his only 2. Yeah, that's the only 2 one. All right, so with these available, I'm going to move 1 for free, and then run. And then I got to do 2 white dice, and I do have a reroll if just one of them has, okay, good, nothing bad, so I didn't make any noise. And now I think that's gonna, oh, crud, if the camera turns, they'll be looking right at it. Yeah, whatever. We'll see what happens. Oh my, thank God. Okay, so now first, this one does suck, the radio reinforcements. Because even though in this mission, you only start with 4 guards on the board, the guard count is actually 5, so you're going to always spawn at least 1 right away. And they always prefer to go on the radio thing, then on adjacent spaces, and whenever they spawn, or while patrolling, go onto a spot with arrows. They just automatically go that direction, so they'll kind of funnel out to where they need to be. But look how lucky that was to get out of this camera's line of sight. Okay, and then they're going 3. All right, so this guy goes 1, 2, 3, and then he will actually turn fully around because he can't just turn once to have a real direct. Oh, sorry, this guy goes first. 1, 2, 3. There we go. This dude, 1, 2, 3. This one's the closest to my spot, so he's just going to go right there. And again, he ignores those arrow moves. And then here's the happy one. 1, 2, 3. All right, well, that worked out actually really well. Now I just need to get the heck out of this camera's line of sight. But I can't go up here yet. Maybe I'm not going to get B. All the people I've talked to on our Discord have said they haven't been able to get B yet, and I was thinking I'd be awesome and just like take care of business where they failed, but that's not that good. So here's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to sneak 3 times. Again, I really, really don't want to move my awareness token. And then I'm going to focus to get my free move thing back. Seems good to have that for like a big sprint when I need it. Okay, now the camera is looking back to where I was a second ago, so that worked out perfectly. Nothing from that, and they're even 3. All right, these guys are just fun, like in a little patrol route of endless repetition and circling. Makes me want to go to this exit and not that one. And this guy, 1, 2, 3. This one's still going straight towards my awareness token. 1, 2, 3. All right. Cool. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have, except for the camera that I clearly can't do anything with. I don't have anybody like in my immediate area. It's getting back to me. And now you can see how like the guard cards will eventually run out if you just take too much time. I'm going to do 1 dash and 3 sneaks. I've got my reroll if the one Jesus. I'm going to use my reroll token that takes 2 to flip back. That's great. Oh, that's good. Okay, by the way, you can't use the plus or minus 2s on the exclamation points. Those are not numbers, so you can't like avoid your fate with that. Okay, no reinforcements this time. They have all 5. The cameras are back to orange, which means I can be in that column near me. And they're moving 4, preferring to go left. All right, 4. Leapfrog, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, that was a long walk this guy took to find my sound. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So except for the camera, which might turn back towards me, I've got a pretty unobstructed. Well, I guess this guy's gonna be coming around and might turn towards me. Yeah, what are the chances of that? If he went 1, 2, 3, he wouldn't be looking at me at 4. He wouldn't be. But if he went 5, and the card had a left preference. So that's a pretty low chance that he'd be looking down here. I'm going to, actually, you know what? I don't want to take too long. But I'm going to go 2 sneaks, and then I'm going to spend 2 focus to flip this back up and just do no noise. Well, the guy's about to find my awareness token, so that's cool, I guess. All right, and okay, cool. The camera's still not looking at me, so I can make a mad dash. Nobody to recover, and they're only moving 3. So I guess my fears were unfounded. So the boring dudes. Although if one of them ever like lands on that, they'll actually turn and start going to a different direction. This guy left as a preference. Oh, that's great, actually. Well, I mean, not that great. He's not coming down towards A, but I guess he will be up with the camera where I kind of want to be going. And this guy just goes here, and this guy stops because he has reached my token, and let's see what he thinks about it. So I draw the top guard reaction. His movement stops. Whose footprints are these? The players within 5 places place this under their figure, otherwise remove it. Yeah, okay. So I figured, like, usually if you're far away enough, it does not matter that they have reached your token. Now, to do a quick turn check, I've gone through 5 of the 10 blue cards, and then I start going to the 7 red cards, one of which will make me lose the game immediately. So I'm pretty good on time, I think. I want to get past the camera where it can see me. This guy shouldn't be coming back. Nobody else should really be in play at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I got my reroll back, so I'll dash twice and then sneak twice and not use my free sneak move yet. So here we go. I've got a reroll. Didn't need it. Awesome. All right, and camera switch. which means this one's looking that way. So that's good. Although, by the time I get over here to... Oh, well, that's right. A, I have to go into the room first. They're moving 3. And my token's not on the board anymore, so they're all just doing a basic control. So this guy goes 1, 2, immediately turns around, because again, those arrows kind of override stuff unless they're like actually hunting me. 3. This guy 1, 2. Oh, there we go. So he is going to come down here, which I think is fine. Well, yeah, it shouldn't really affect me. This guy is going to be on the camera facing that way. That's fine too. Actually, that's kind of good, isn't it? Because he's like away from... Yeah, I could make a mad dash to the exit, but I have to go to A first. Now, these guys really don't seem to be, entities at this point, so we'll just let them do their thing. All right, so the A's equipment I have to get. I just put it next to my board to say that I found it, kind of like the B one. So it's not like I'm going to spawn any more Emmys or anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... should I dash twice? Am I in that much of a... You know what? I'm in a little bit of a hurry, aren't I? So dash, dash, sneak, sneak. Okay, so I've collected my equipment, but I got to roll twice. Beautiful. All right, and cameras are back to the bad direction, but I'm not going to be there for a second, so hopefully they'll switch back. And 4 move. Now look at this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man, he's just totally changing his route. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, and then he's going. Oh, good. They're all getting out of the way. I love this. And for these guys, I'm just a ghost. They don't even know what's going on. And this guy's just walking into a corner to have a smoke, I guess. 1, 2. What's their preference? Right. 3, 4. Yeah, without going for B, there's definitely a lot easier. All right, so the camera's currently facing this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to get, so I'll do 1 dash and 3 sneaks to get ready to run whenever it turns. And I'm okay. Come on, cameras change. Yes. Okay, and that doesn't matter. I'm moving 4. This might be a flawless run after that not so pretty first one. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, leapfrog, 2, 3. Oh, he's not up the stairs. Okay. And this guy goes 4. And I just knocked this guy down, but I think he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Oh, wait. I think those are... No, that's a wall. Never mind. Okay, at this point... It would take them like a really long time to reach me, even if they went fast. So I think I can just run, especially while the camera is not facing me. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, and use my free move 9. I just dashed out of there while they could not get to me. Yay! All right, and then you get like some fun narration. I won't spoil all that because especially if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid, the video game, then you don't know what comes next. And there's actually like a big weird plot twist right off the bat here. I'll just say the word DARPA chief for those who are wondering what I'm talking about if you don't already know. But because I got the basic thing I had to get, I do get 2 equipment cards. Would have gotten more if I had gotten B. So I would have these in the next mission. If I wanted to, you can hold up to 3 equipment. Everyone except Snake gets like automatic equipment because they're more loaded to bear. But Snake just has to bring what he can find. But these become unlocked items and they become options. So you kind of get more and more cool things you can use in your loadout. And I believe the rule said you can even replay missions you've already done with new equipment, which I think means like when I was really sneaky, I can come back and play this one again and get B if I had like more things to help me. So yeah, I've got a 45 caliber pistol. So for a single action, I can shoot rolling 1 die. It's loud, so it plays a thing under my figure, but if I keep on shooting enough until I get 2 dice at 3 above for the regular guards, then I would just straight up kill them, and from range instead of having to walk up and punch them. So, there might be opportunities and situations that would be useful. Of course, I'm sure once you get a silencer, it's a lot better. And then ration for 1 action, I can discard it to heal up to 2 damage if I got found and shot a bit. Well, there you go. That was the initial 2 missions in Metal Gear Solid. Like I said, one of us should be doing a play of a boss fight soon-ish once we get to it. And then once I've played through most of the campaign and kind of seen what they have to offer, played some of the VR missions too, tried out different characters, co-op, all of that, I'll be back with a review. So thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. Will AMF, Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Miles, Wayne Scott, and Steve Wren. We'll see you at the next stop.